Hey you, do you have a problem with investment? Don't worry, I will show you one of the investment that benefit to you. Okay, come, let's go. Hello guys, do you know what is government bond? A government bond or sovereign bond is a debt security issued by a national government, generally with a promise to pay periodic interest payments and to repay the face value on the maturity date. Government bonds are usually denominated in the country's own currency, in which case the government cannot be forced to default, atau it may choose to do so. By selling bonds, the Treasury reduces the supply of money in the market. A reduced supply of money means less inflation. When the Treasury sells a bond, it gives a bond away and accepts cash for it. This cash is then held by the Treasury and not circulated within the market. As a result, there is less money available for banks to loan and inflation should be reduced. If the supply of something is less than demand, the price rise. Think of inflation as the price of a money. If the supply of money is high, then inflation is greater. But if the supply of money is low, then inflation is less. The market purchase of government bond push the supply of money down, and therefore inflation is reduced. There are two types of government bond in Malaysia which are conventional, called Malaysia Government Securities (MGS), and Government Investment Issue (GII), which is a type of Islamic security. Malaysia Treasury Bills (MTB) is one of the conventional bond which is under Malaysia Government Securities (MGS). Malaysia Treasury Bills are short-term securities issued by the Government of Malaysia to raise short-term funds for government's working capital. Bills are sold at discount through competitive auction facilitated by Bank Negara Malaysia with original maturities of 3 months, 6 months and 1 year. The redemption will be made at par. Malaysian Treasury Bills are issued on weekly basis and the auction will be held 1 day before the issue date. The successful bidders will be determined according to the most competitive yield offer. Normal auction day is Thursday and the result of successful bidders will be announced 1 day after. Malaysia Treasury Bills are tradable on yield basis. It means discount rate based on bands of remaining tenure. For example, band 4, 68 to 91 days to maturity. The standard trading amount is RM5 million and it is actively traded in the secondary market. The economy in Malaysia now is in an uncertain and unstable economic situation. Malaysia's Treasury Bill is one of the ways to stabilize the economy. Malaysia Treasury Bill was established to help and benefit the country. They help in terms of finance government expenditure. Therefore, Malaysia Treasury Bill is an important asset to the country.
Characteristic of Malaysian Treasury Bills. There are 8 characteristics of Malaysian Treasury Bills. The first is issuer. The Government of Malaysia issues these unsecured bills facilitated by Bank Negara Malaysia. The second is tenor. There are 3 times for maturity date. First is 91 days, second is 182 days, and the last is 365 days. The third is currency. Because it is Malaysian Treasury bills, so we use Malaysian ringgit. The fourth is interest payment. For interest payment, bills are issued on a discount basis. The fifth is who may bid. Only principal dealers appointed by Bank Negara Malaysia can bid. The sixth is redemption. For redemption, bills are redeemed at par upon maturity. The seventh is taxation. For taxation, bills are exempt from interest income tax and capital gains tax. And the last is method of sale in the primary market. So, the method of sale in the primary market is by competitive auction on yield bid basis. So, that's all for characteristic of Malaysian Treasury bills. There are 3 things in how to invest that we need to know. Let's see one by one. In first step, we need to know tender dates and submission of bids. Check tender dates. Bank Negara Malaysia will invite tenders before the issue date to a fully automated system for tendering, or we call FAST. Auction details are normally announced 2 weeks prior to auction date. FAST members can access information on forthcoming issues, which include type of security offered, tender dates, issue dates, maturity dates, and issue amounts. For non-FAST members, auction schedule and planned tenders are posted at the Bank Negara Malaysia website, like FAST forthcoming tenders, Islamic Interbank Money Market forthcoming tenders, and Bond Info Hub forthcoming auction. Submission of bids. All government debt security, including Malaysian Treasury bills, are offered to principal dealers via competitive auction. Principal dealers are invited by Bank Negara Malaysia to submit bids directly to fully automated system for tendering. Principal dealers are financial institutions appointed by Bank Negara Malaysia to deal in specific instruments as principal or agent. They are obligated to participate in the primary tenders of security for a minimum of 10% of the issue. The tenders can be for their own account or on behalf of clients. Investors can apply to dealers to bid on their behalf. That's all for first step.
Application procedure. Interested investor place orders for government securities through Bank Negara Malaysia appointed principal dealers (PDs) who charge varying fees for their service. PDs normally require investor to maintain a cash account and a securities account for settlement of bond trade. For competitive bidding, tenders are sorted in order of yield, lowest to highest, or price, 100, highest to lowest, and amount of bid. This order is used to allot security to bidders until the issue is fully subscribed. First, after tenders are processed and amount allocated to successful bidders, fully automated system for tendering FAST generates the report accessible to principal dealers PDs. Secondly, allotments go initially to PD accounts, then PDs distribute client bids with the dealer advising customer of bid result. And lastly, general tender results are published by Bank Negara Malaysia through FAST.